Welcome, everybody. We're very excited to have everyone here. This is our University Study Options webinar for all graduates, but focused specifically today for GED graduates. Thank you for joining us. Our university studies can involve a significant commitment to time and finances. There are many positive reasons behind the decision to pursue further studies, specifically in improving your career prospects. My name is Shaun Swartz. I'm the CEO of SK Education Solutions. We are the official office of the GED in South Africa, as well as throughout the rest of Africa. We are live on Facebook, and we have made the comments facility available for you to post your questions. So please feel free to type your questions in the comments facility. We will be monitoring all these questions, and we will try our best to ensure that our experts are able to answer your questions after the presentation. The GED was established over 75 years ago. It was established as a testing body built on trust and recognition. Today, the GED has grown to become the #1 most recognized higher secondary certificate worldwide. The GED testing service is a joint venture. It's a joint venture between the American Council on Education as well as Pearson, which is a leading global education company. We have over 20 million graduates around the world that have already gone to attend universities in the US, as well as many other countries around the world. The GED program is the only higher secondary certificate available in over 85 countries and accepted by nearly all universities in the US and many across the world. One of the benefits of the GED is its flexibility to test on individuals' schedule. The exam can be taken literally any time throughout the year, ensuring specific exam dates. Students can schedule their exams whenever they are ready. Today, we are extremely privileged to have Kate Campbell join us from the University of the People. The University of the People is the first nonprofit, American accredited, tuition-free online university dedicated to opening access to higher education globally. The University of the People has been recognized in top publications across the globe, from the BBC through to the New York Times. Today, we are also joined by Ben from our GED International office in Bangkok, Thailand. Ben is no stranger to the GED and deals with literally thousands of GED students on an annual basis from all over the world. If you have any GED or University of the People or generally university-related questions, please feel free to type your questions in the comments section on YouTube. We will be monitoring these questions and we'll try our best to ensure our expert panelists answer your questions. Kate, thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited for you to share your knowledge with our audience.
Thank you so much, Shaun. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. So if you can just let me know you can see everything. Just going into presentation mode. Everybody see my screen okay?
We're ready to go.
Ready to go, okay. So thank you, Shaun, for the wonderful introduction to University of the People. So I'm Kate Campbell. I'm the Inbound Channels Marketing Director here at the university. And I oversee all sorts of marketing activations, our social media channels. So please follow us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We have amazing content that we produce daily. We also have a YouTube channel for those of you that are watching here on YouTube. Please also go to us because we do a lot of live events as well. So, and we also run webinars regularly. So please check us out on social media and YouTube as well. So today, I've got a lot of content for you, so I'm going to keep going and moving through as quickly, as thoroughly though as I can. So I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction to the university and tell you a bit about where we've come from, our accreditation. We'll move into our academic leaders and our partnerships that we have at the university. I'll then explore the different degree programs that we offer, and then move into the student experience, how we teach, what does the model look like, what does some of the actual portals that we do our learning courses look like. And then finally, all importantly, we'll be talking you through how to apply, what the costs are, and what tuition free exactly means, because that's something that I'll be explaining about. And then we'll move to any Q&A that you have. So, University of the People, for any of you that may know a little bit about us, or some of you that may not know anything about us, we are the first non-profit, American accredited, tuition-free online university, and we're fully dedicated to opening access to higher education at a global scale. We're all about a movement. We're the education revolution. So if you come join us, we're not just any non-profit, not just any other online university. We are very much part of a movement to change the world. And there's a real energy about coming to join us and being a student with us. It's a very special place to learn and work and meet others and connect. So let's explain our accreditation. So we are accredited by the DEAC, which is the Distance Education Accrediting Commission. That is listed by the US Department of Education as an officially recognized accreditation agency. I can continue to go on just around how that accreditation is recognized by the Council for Higher Education. But we're also at a very exciting time at the university because we have also received eligibility for our WASC accreditation, which is another regional accreditation body. We're going through that process at the moment. So again, very exciting time for the university, but the DAC, we have been accredited since 2014. So let's talk about our academic leadership. This is a really inspiring story here around our president and founder, Shaun Swartz. Now, Shaun has been in the international education industry for over 25 years. He originally started out as an entrepreneur, started out in for-profit education, and realized he could take this model, as well as his deep knowledge and passion for technology, to turn this into a non-profit and put this together to offer and open the gates for higher education to the world. So Shaun Swartz is our president and founder and continues to do amazing things to lead this university. We also have an extensive President's Council, which is headed up by President Emeritus John Sexton from NYU. We all know John very, very well, and he continues to be an amazing leader for us for the President's Council. I would also like to mention, because we have a very, very international board, as you can see in terms of the council, of how well shaped our university is from all these incredible academic leaders. But we are so, so proud to have Vice Chancellor Mamagethi Phakeng, who is from the University of Cape Town. She's Vice Chancellor of University of Cape Town, but she previously served as Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research and International Personalization at the university, and also Vice Principal of Research and Innovation. So we have all these amazing figures that lead and help shape the quality of our programs at the university. Our provost and our deans, again, distinguished leaders, and our deans that we have from the different programs are from NYU, from Princeton, from the University of Columbia, and more. So something I really wanted to talk through today was around our collaborations. And this is something we've been in a very, again, exciting time over the last couple of months as we launched a number of new collaborations where the university is officially partnering with other reputable institutions to provide even more opportunities to study at other institutions, whether you're transferring from these to us or you want to transfer from us onto other institutions. But a big one for us was Harvard Business School Online, which was a very exciting time. We announced that back in February. And the kind of agreement that we have, each agreement with each of these institutions differs slightly. So often it means that they can transfer and then complete their training and their studies on the ground, for example, at McGill. But with Harvard Business School Online, they actually, part of the agreement, they offer some of their courses at a heavily discounted rate. So again, we are opening the doors for our students to then move on, to go on to study and complete their studies at other universities. So very, very exciting, lots of good partnerships that we work with very actively. University of Edinburgh, University of California, Berkeley, and the IB. So I've talked about our quality, our leadership, our partnership. So let's get into the degree programs that we could offer you. So first of all, business administration, very, very popular degree. We offer this in associate's level, a bachelor's level, and a master's MBA. Again, very, very popular. The business administration is all about giving you a comprehensive knowledge of business theories, applying that to real world scenarios, giving you lots of concepts to apply for global society, and really prepares you to go into the business world or to continue your graduate studies. The MED in education, again, so this is a really interesting one because we do this in partnership with the International Accreditation. So this is built in cooperation together. It specializes around obviously education, elementary level, middle school, secondary school. So this is, again, a really amazing degree that you take. It really helps you to prepare for dynamic careers in education, childcare, and community leadership. So this is only offered at a master's level. We offer computer science, so we offer this in an associate's degree and bachelor's degree. Again, very popular course, really hones into your problem solving skills, helping you to develop that into real life problems and solve real life problems, teaching all the complex algorithms, and really then prepares you into a wide range of industries such as gaming, IT, healthcare, data science. And you'll enter the workforce not just speaking code, but writing code. And then finally, we offer health science. Never been so important, particularly over this time in the pandemic. We offer this in associate's degrees and bachelor's degree. So health science, again, will give you all the knowledge and function that you need to know to enter the complex world of the healthcare. This will give you specific study areas such as biology and public health. So again, all about growing the ethics and resources, management of prevention programming, and all about health service delivery. So again, if you're looking to move into the world of healthcare, health science, this is a fantastic degree for you to take. So I've talked a little bit about degrees now. So let's talk about how we teach and what the student experience is like. As you all know, working now with GED, and you've had the experience of working not outside of the classroom, something that we always have to talk about when we have new students coming with us, if say they've been in the classroom environment before and they're coming to online, or they're coming to us a little bit later in life to study, it is a huge shift. I mean, it is something that Online studying, you have to be your own motivator, you have to be your own disciplinarian, you have to keep your own timekeeping skills. It can be very, very challenging for people, and it's certainly a learning curve when you come. Now, having been working in the GED as you have been, you already have a bit of a step up on that because you've been able to work in that way before. So certainly for you coming over to the University of the People and the tools and the resources that we provide, we hope that would then be one slightly easier step for you to take. So how do we teach? First of all our learning materials and textbooks are part of OER, Open Education Resources. This can take anything in form of articles, PDF, open library resources, in some cases, sometimes video as well. All of this is provided free of charge. There is no cost whatsoever for any of your materials. We use a platform called Moodle, which is one of the most widely used online learning management resources, and that's how we deliver our courses. So to your right here, you can see some screenshots of what Moodle looks like. Looks very, very similar to our website itself, uopeople.edu. And this is where all the students log in and access all the discussion guides, access all the learning resources, upload their assignments, etc. So the courses are led by qualified instructors who guide and support the students throughout each course. So what you'll typically see is you'll be divided down into a classroom, typically of around 30 or so, depending on the course and the year. So around about 30 other students, and then you'll have your course instructor that manages and oversees that discussion guide. So what happens there each week is the students engage with each other all through the online discussion forums. There'll be weekly quizzes, there'll be weekly learning assignments, and there'll be peer-to-peer reviews, again, in the small class format with personal attention from our instructors. Now, I just want to pause here and explain what peer-to-peer reviews are, because it's a big part of our learning model here at the university. It's what really helps our tuition-free model work all together. And I want to just explain what peer-to-peer learning means. So at the University of the People, we recognise that collaborative working is really what's going to put you a step forward when you go into the world of work. And this brings out confidence, this brings out your ability to really be understanding of the material yourself, to be able to critically look at what other people are working on. Therefore, we assign discussion guides each week with assignments where other students, say it's about 3 other students will be assigned to you, you'll have 3 students assigned likewise. And how it works is that you will then review the assignments and provide a grade. So each student grades each other, which is all under the supervision of our qualified instructors. So how it works then is that where they will then grade the other students' work, they will grade you. And all of that is done with very specific guidelines, and anything that is then sort of not justified can be challenged. So that is how peer-to-peer assessment works. Now, in terms of course structure, there is 5 academic terms per year, and each course will be around 9 weeks long and comprise 1 unit of study. So depending on whether you're studying with us full-time or part-time depends on how many courses you take, and also depending a little bit on your GPA as well. But mostly people will take 1 course part-time or 2 courses full-time. For undergraduates, we then do test assessments, which they come in the 9th week, which will be all the material covered within that course. The graduates for MBA, MBD is a little bit different for them. It's based a lot on coursework. So students typically are dedicating around 50 to 20 hours per week to each course. And again, flexibility, Shaun talked about this at the beginning of this session around the flexibility of GED. We are the same. This is one of the big draws of this university, is that this is fully online and you learn at your own pace. So we start midweek, so we run Thursday to Wednesday, again, because We are working with so many students across different parts of the world. Some may be weekends start on Friday, weeks start on Sunday. So we like to make it as fair and pushed out as far as we can. So that's how we will run the week, and then the assignments are due at the end of that week. So student support, you will never be on your own, not for 1 minute. We're here with you every single step of the way. And the first thing that happens when you come join us is you will be assigned a program advisor. This is someone that you will have dedicated to you for your entire journey here with us at University of the People. They're there to answer any questions, any issues, any concerns. You speak to your program advisor and they'll be able to help you. You will also receive one-on-one feedback and guidance from your qualified instructors, following those discussion guides and class settings that I was talking about. Students complete learning journals each week. So it's all about the reflection, all about what did I learn this week? How did I find this feedback? How did I feel about that? Those are the kinds of things that you will put in your learning journal that you work with your instructor on as well. We also have online student forums and peer review groups. And then we have a very, very strong sense of student community. We have students from every country, every different walk of life, every different situation. It is an amazing place to expand not just your local network, but your global network. You may be based in Cape Town and you're working with 28 other students from all different range of countries, Europe, USA, Thailand, everywhere. It is an incredible place to learn about other cultures, about other people, taking you out of your comfort zone. And those communities are all incredibly supportive. The students are very, very proactive with setting up their own Facebook groups. So there's interest groups that you can join on our Yammer networks, which is our internal social media network. The students often have WhatsApp groups for their classes. So everybody is helping and supporting everyone, because as I mentioned, this isn't just any online university. This is a movement, and we're all trying to help each other to open the gates to higher education for everyone to do really well. So hopefully I've given you enough of a flavour about the university, and may I just remind everybody of our how to apply, and I will talk everybody through now the process and what the requirements are. And also just to point out our website, uopeople.edu, has so much more information and content that really elaborates everything that I've spoken about, our degree programs, the curriculum. It really dives into all of the things that you can expect. So I'll just take a moment as well just to point out our website. So let's talk about admissions requirements then. So for undergraduate, we have 16 years or older. Now, normally we would ask for high school completion of high school, which, goes right into GED. So it would be a case of providing your GED certification from your test centres. For graduates, it's 18 years or older. You would have had a bachelor's degree, your 2 years work experience, or if you're taking an MBA, and the letter of recommendation again for the MBA. The application process is very simple and easy. So I'm not going to run through every single step just because of time, and I know we want to move to questions and have further discussion. But here's a few screen grabs of what our application process looks like. And we try to make this as simple as possible. No complicated fee structures, no complicated, you just follow the steps. And what will happen is when you initiate your application, you will then be automatically assigned an admissions advisor, and the admissions advisor will help you through every step of the way of getting your application completed. So if you need help with any of your documentation, if you want to transfer credits, your admission advisor will help you through all of that. You would enter your funding and then eventually then save your spot for the upcoming term. We do have an upcoming deadline, which is June 5th, which is the last day to submit your application for our next term, which starts June 17th. So let's talk a little bit about costs. So we talked about we're tuition free. What exactly does that mean? It means there are no fees to take courses. There's no fees to enroll. There are no course materials. We bring the classroom to you. But yes, there are some costs, but they are very, very reasonable and affordable costs that we charge. So first of all, a $60 application fee. This is one time, it's non-refundable, again, to keep our university sustainable and help with our processing costs. And then you will pay assessment fees per course completion, which is $120 you're an undergrad and $240 for graduate. So these assessment fees are paid once you then get to the point of that time. And then I've added in there because transferring in and out is very common practice here. So we take a lot of students that do have transfer credits. So $17, again, very affordable per approved course. And if you want to see any further information just about our transferability, the list of organizations and institutions, that is all again on UO People EDU. So if you're not transferring any credits, you're just coming to join us, these are the average costs of degrees. So for an associate's, we're looking at $2,460. For a bachelor's, an average is $4,860. $2,940 for an MBA and $3,180 for an MED, which again, these costs, if you look at the cost of not only in South Africa, but the US, of how much traditional university can cost for these types of degrees, it is an incredible saving. We remove almost all of those costs. So, where do our graduates work? How will this actually help you? Will this help you with your jobs? Yes, we are so proud of our alumni. By the way, again, I've talked about our social media. Please check out our Facebook platforms and our YouTube platforms because we have so many alumni interviews from all over the world that are now in the world of work. They've been promoted in their jobs. They've been able to use their degree, and these are just a snapshot of the brands that some of our graduates are using this to work in all over the world right now. Amazon, Apple, Dell, ATT, the list goes on. But don't take our word for it. We have student testimonials that we have, again, on our website. You can go to Ask Me Anything, which is a page on our website where you can just speak to students. You can even look for students, particularly in South Africa, and ask them questions. And then we also have our recent results from our annual student survey, where we've again seen amazing results of how our students are satisfied with our degrees. And I'd also like to point out right now, we have current students of 65,000. Over the past few years, I think we have had over 2,500 South African students study with us. And South African students, what we have seen, have some of the highest retention rates of 88%, which shows that South African students that have found us and studied with us have really got a lot out of our degrees. I actually had the pleasure of running a South African student focus group last week, where we were really talking in depth about how they were using their degrees. All of them were in full-time jobs at that time. We had one who was working in a pharmacist that was using the health science degree to further her studies and get promoted. So again, these degrees are useful. We just want more people from South Africa. We want to have you. We want more students from South Africa. So again, please come join us. Come join all the 65,000 plus students that are currently studying with us and join our global community. So with that, I'm going to take a quick drink of water, have a break. So thank you so much again for listening and taking the time to consider University of the People. I know I went through a lot of content very quickly today. I could talk for much, much longer, but I do want to leave a bit of time for questions. So please, again, check out our website, UO People EDU. We have amazing blogs on there. We don't just write about the university, but we write a lot of topical blogs, right down to what's happening right now in the world from our leaders. So I really encourage you to check those out as well. So thank you, Shaun. I'll just hand back over to you just for a moment.
Kate, thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation, a huge amount of information. If you could just switch off the sharing, that'll be
yes, of course.
Great. I mean, when we just go through it and we hear what you offer and what you've achieved and what you're doing for students around the world, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, when I look at the pricing, it's literally, it looks as though you left a zero off the end of the price.
I know.
If you compare it to other universities around the world, it's literally a fraction of the price. And the amazing thing is that it's not only accredited by American accrediting agencies, but it's also you've got articulation agreements with all these other universities around the world, which makes the degrees so portable.
Yeah.
And I find that incredible. I mean, maybe I'd like to just start off by just explaining what these credits and these transfer credits mean, because it's not as understood in South Africa, but it is a big thing. When you were talking about $17 for a credit, etc. So essentially what that means, everybody, is that if you have studied somewhere else, but you haven't finished, you have the potential to transfer the subjects that you've already passed to the University of the People, so that it can count towards your degree there, so you can actually study less at the University of the People to get your degree. The same applies the other way around. You can get your degree at the University of the People, and then, or maybe 2/3 of your degree at the University of the People, and then go and transfer some of those credits to these Ivy League universities. I mean, the fact that you can go from your GED to the University of the People to Harvard is incredible. It really is an amazing feat. And so I congratulate you and your huge team at the University of the People, and thank you for giving of your time to discuss the University of the People and generally options for all GED graduates around the world and what they can actually do to further their studies once they have graduated.
Shaun, it's a pleasure. And I wanted just to add, because that was very helpful for you to explain just about what transfer credits mean. I want to just add to that yes, that's what one of the benefits for transferring credits is, speed to graduation. But we, in terms from an associate's and bachelor's degree, you can transfer up to 75% of your degree, and for a master's, it would be up to 50%. So again,
Okay.
So again,
Excellent.
Speed to graduation, that's how much you can transfer over to us.
And I think from what you've just said now, I need to add another point, and that is what is an associate degree? So just so people in South Africa understand, because in South Africa, we've only got a bachelor's degree, and then we've got a thing called an honors, which is really the 4-year bachelor's, and then a master's degree. So essentially in America, there's a thing called an associate degree, which is a 2-year degree. So it's sort of like a half a bachelor's degree to some extent. And a huge amount of universities in America offer 2-year degrees. And a lot of people do that as a stepping stone to go further into a bachelor's and then into a master's degree at university level. And so it's also something to understand, but please be aware that in South Africa, if you had to graduate with an associate degree, it's not going to be as recognized as a bachelor's degree because it's not understood in South Africa. So that's just something to be aware of. I'm going to go to our list of questions now. I'm sure we've got questions for Ben and for Lindsay and for you, Kate. So I'm just going to start going through some of the questions. And I think here's a quick question that I think you can answer, Kate, and that is, what is the average scores required to qualify to study a degree at the University of the People?
Are you talking about the GPAs?
So they're not going to necessarily have a GPA because they just got their GED.
Yeah.
And so what are the minimum scores required in the GED in order to be accepted at the University of the People? Is it just a pass, or do they have to achieve a higher score in their tests?
Yeah, so they would just need to show, to be admitted, you would just need to have shown high school completion. So you would have had to show your, as long as you have basically achieved what is required in terms of post-secondary education, that is what we don't have levels of scores.
Okay.
But again, once you're assigned an admissions advisor, you can speak to them just to ask further questions, and they'll help you with the GED documentation and everything like that. So, but it is a showing completion and a pass rate rather than
okay. Perfect, thank you. So you, during the application process and the presentation, you spoke about accessing a website. You've provided us with a link that we can share with all our students and potential students. We will be emailing this link out. But Lindsay, if you haven't already, would you mind posting that link on the GED chat, on the YouTube chat, so that everybody can access that application link already and can consider applying. And you mentioned, I think it's very important to also clarify that the deadline is the 5th of June, but that's only for the next semester. But the reality is that there are 5 semesters per year, and it doesn't mean that you have to start in January or in June. You can start studying at the University of the People in any one of these 5 start dates or semesters. Can you just clarify that for us?
Yes, absolutely. For mentioning that, because we do have multiple enrollments per academic year. So again, on the website, and again, I can pop this in the chat as well, if that's helpful. We have an admissions calendar so that you can see all the upcoming admissions deadlines that we have. So it may be that you want to study with us, but you're not ready to study until a little bit later in the year. That can absolutely happen. You can save your spot depending on when you are ready to study with us. So what you do is you open the application on our website, UOPeople.edu. You go through the application process, uploading your documents, and then you will then save your spot for the term. So once you save your spot, you then go into foundations courses, which then gives you all the foundational knowledge, gets you started to warm up to how things work at University People, using the tools, the learning resources, which then moves you on to working towards your degree. So would that help, Shaun, if I just pop that into the chat here, or I can send it out as part of the follow-up.
You can put it into our chat and Lindsay will pick that up and put it on YouTube.
Perfect. It has every date you need to know, every deadline you need to know. So now,
thank
I have it right handy.
Now, this question is actually for both Ben and for you, Kate. I think the first part will be for Ben, the second part will be for Kate. You also mentioned relating to the degrees that you can transfer in credits. Now, I may be putting you on the spot here and you may not be able to answer the question straight away, but if you could get back to us on this and we could communicate it to everybody at a later stage. But Ben can also talk to us now, if you don't mind, Ben, about the different passing levels. Now, there's 3 different passing levels within the GED. And as we've understood it, if you get the highest passing level, then a lot of American universities allow you to transfer in credit. And so, Ben, maybe you could just explain that as well. And then, Kate, if you just comment.
Sure, thank you. So for GED exams, we have 200 as the full scores for 4 subjects. So we got mathematics, science, social studies, and RLA, which is English. Basically, it's required for everyone to pass at 145. So as Shaun mentioned that we got 3 levels, mostly in the US, if you can pass 145, of course, you pass the standard, and the next level will be 165. I think the next one is 175. So depends on university. Certain university, they have this equivalent to AP or advanced placement program. So some universities can, allow and give the certain grades. And again, depends on university, which is different. Some they can give you grade, B, C, or whatsoever, depending on that. So this is the 3 levels that you ask.
Right. So Ben, thank you. So essentially, if you pass with the highest level, then the ACE or ACE credit in America have approved those pass marks to achieve credit transfer from the GED into a bachelor's degree. Kate, I know, as I said in the beginning, I may be putting you on the spot here, so if you're not sure, it would be appreciated if you could just find out about it, because it's an amazing thing for GED students that if they do really well in their GED, then by the time they start their degree with you, they've already got some credits towards their degree.
Yeah, Shaun. So I remember from working a little bit around transfer credits around. So I know for undergraduate degrees, not only are the higher education courses that we transfer, but you can definitely transfer credits from AP credits, college level, the IB, of course, and I know that you can also those for the American Council of Education, ACE transcripts. So we do accept those ACE transcripts, but if there is something that you would like us to provide a little bit more follow-up information around this, I'm more than happy to do so, and I can dig into this a little bit more.
It would be appreciated, but as I understand it, GED graduates would be able to get an ACE transcript, which would be good news. And so essentially, GED students all around the world now, if you work really, really hard and do very well in your GED subjects, we basically confirmed that you should be able to transfer some credits towards your bachelor's degree, which means that you can already be a few credits into your degree before you've even started your degree, which is excellent news.
Yes.
Another question. It's you're not really, I don't know if you're going to be able to answer it, but the question is, are you able to enter the medical field of study if you've got a GED? So I think,
So are you able to enter the medical, do you mean the health science degree?
Well, they mentioned all different types of medical, doctor, etc. But I know that University of People only offer health science. So maybe you could just explain in a little bit more detail about the health science so that it can clarify what it is that you actually offer from that side.
Yeah, so you mean the health science degree that we offer right now at Associates? Yeah, okay. So yes, again, as I said, it's an incredible course that we offer, and also again to mention the partnerships that we have. One really interesting partnership that we have is the Long Island University partnership, which actually is specifically to take health science students that they can then go and do on the ground nursing and medical experience. So I did want to just put that one in because it is an interesting one of us. But in terms of the course, what you'll learn for health sciences, it'll be everything from biology to nutrition, human disease, community and public health. So you would pick your number of courses and have a number of courses to complete across your degree, which will then, of course, help prepare you to get into the medical field after that. So if you were studying with GED Again, we've told you about what you would need to enter into one of our degrees, which doesn't need to be anything health science specific. You can move into our field, work with us for the bachelor's degree. Typically, these take around 4 years to complete, and then that will help prepare you to move into the field of medical after. And Shaun, actually, I wanted to mention as well that we have a careers services centre, something that I forgot to mention a little bit earlier. That was like, must mention the careers services centre, as we have the ability to help students once they are starting to get ready to graduate. So we offer support around preparing CVs, resumes, how to put letters together, covering letters together, how to network, how to present yourself for interviews. So we make sure that we give the students support, and the Career Service Centre is a really great, again, free of charge offer that we put for students that will help you go into that field, for example, into the medical field after that point.
Excellent, thank you. And again, just GED students, GED parents, just a reminder, if you want to ask any other questions, type them in the YouTube chat. And just a big reminder that, as you can see, there are other options out there. You can get a degree online. You don't have to go to a local university. They are very nice if you want to go to them, but there are other options out there, cheaper options, excellent options, and options that accept a GED directly. So it really is a really nice option. And leading into that comment is a question that I have from Miranda, and that is, she would like to know how well the qualifications are accepted in industry.
Yes, I mean, I mentioned where our graduates work. You saw the level of industry, the level of brands there that we have.
That speaks for itself, essentially.
And that was something that I really wanted to showcase, of those range of brands, top industries, top companies that people have worked in. It opens up opportunities as well for internships too. So yes, I mean, industry do accept, and our students are actively working and using these degrees, and we're just really growing. Like, we're in a very exciting period of growth and recognition worldwide. So yes, industries and companies are accepting our degrees. We just encourage you again to go to our site, where if you want to ask alumni or ask students about their experiences, you can do that directly on our website, because we have an Ask Me Anything section to do that. So we certainly just encourage you to follow our content, go to our YouTube channel, search for us and search our videos, because we give so many, we have so many interviews with alumni that are actively in work. They've used their degrees for the purpose of strengthening their careers. So again, you can find a lot of information and a lot of great content on those sites.
Excellent. A big thing, we get questions literally every single week. Can I study teaching after I get my GED? And that leads me into actually the next question, which was, why does the University of the People only offer a master's degree in education and not a bachelor's degree?
That's a great question. I'll have to dig in a little bit more to that. I know it was to do, obviously, we were working with the IB to accelerate students into that field, and partnering with them to put this special degree together, this MED together. But what I would say is the university is all the time looking at expansion and looking at programs that we can offer. So I would just say stay tuned, because we're continuing to grow, we're always growing. So again, just keep an eye on our site just to see what we have coming up. Okay.
The next question I'm just going to answer on your behalf. Is the University of the People accredited? Yes, absolutely it is.
Yes.
It's accredited. And not only one accreditation, it sounds as though you're just about to have a second accreditation as well.
Yeah,
so that's excellent.
Yes, we're in the process. So just a reminder, maybe the person had missed the first part of my presentation, but we are accredited by the DEAC, which is the Distance Education and Accrediting Center, which is recognized by the US Department of Education, and we are approved to issue degrees. We are registered in the state of California, so that's where our degrees are issued. So just a recap on that is our where we are accredited, just in case you missed that from the beginning.
Okay. The next question is actually for, I think Ben will probably be the best person to answer this. It's actually not university specific, but we will answer it, seeing that it is a GED webinar as well. And that question is, Ben, can you explain what is the percentile rank? Because a lot of people get confused. So people think that it's actually the percentage that they got on their exam. So could you just explain what is the percentile rank?
Sure, thanks, Shaun. Yeah, for those graduates who can see the percentile on that, I can say that the lesser the better. So for example, if you got a percentile like 65, you are among the most 65 people that get that score. But if you are getting like 15 percentile, it means that you are the top 15 group of people, you know, in comparison against for the entire group. Just the idea for that.
Okay, good. So that's a great way of thinking about it. So the percentile rank, the lower the percent, the better you've actually done in your group of people that wrote at the same time as you.
Yep, correct.
Great. All right. So we've got a question here. I was wondering if we're able to study things like marine biology with a GED. You obviously, Kate, don't offer marine biology at the University of the People.
Not at the moment. You never know. You never know. We could always one day, but right now, we don't.
Ben or Lindsay, do you have any insight into this to help answer that question?
No, not really about marine, but yeah. If you don't mind, may share something of what I feel about Kate's presentation.
Sure.
One thing, thank you. I mean, I'm working internationally. So when Kate mentioned about if you got to a classmate, you know, living in other countries and you got this kind of peers, you know, studying together, for me, it's like the bonus, especially nowadays. I mean, for us in this world, because people work remotely like all of us here as well. So I thought that is the big gain, because not just the knowledge that you can learn from your instructors or your teachers, you know, but from people that we're different. For example, I got a chance to work with, Shaun and Lindsay, who are living in South Africa. And, you know, the way of working is a little bit different from me working in Asia. And that kind of thing is the beauty of this kind of, you know, the new world or the current world. So I'm glad, and I thought that is a big benefit for the students studying at University of People. And thanks for sharing that, Kate.
Thank you, Ben. And I couldn't agree more. And that's something that we really promote. It's a huge benefit because, again, and I'm stealing this exact phrase from an amazing student we have who lives in Johannesburg, who was on our focus group last week, about how much he loves expanding not only his local network, but his global network. And he has friends and now through in all different countries that he would never have had the opportunity to meet through if it wasn't through University of the People. And it really does it opens your eyes to really, you know, so many different walks of life, so many different countries. So you could be grading your fellow classmate who is a 40-year-old parent in Bangkok, and then you might be grading a 20-year-old young student in California. I mean, you really are meeting all sorts of people, and it's so important. It's true to life. I mean, we're all working with each other, working with our peers, collaborating, and And that's what the university really sets you up for. It's reality. So that's what we're bringing to you.
Absolutely. And Ben, thank you for mentioning that, because I agree 100%. I mean, basically, as you progress in your work career, you are going to be able to leverage off the friends and the peers that you met at university, and they're also going to be at different companies throughout the world, and having those connections and that alumni network is a massive opportunity for when you're actually looking to expand or to work globally, or whatever it may be. So absolutely, it's a huge win. Absolutely. Here's one. We also get it a lot. Will I be able to study psychology with the GED? I mean, are any of your degrees related or offering psychology as a subject?
For us, I'll have to check if it's part of health sciences.
But it's not. You can't major in psychology.
No, I'd have to check exactly, Shaun, of what, because there's a number of different courses, and I don't know every individual one. But I can do a quick check though. I have a lot of the to hand. So
while you're checking that, I'm going to ask Lindsay. Lindsay, could you just talk us through? I mean, somebody could do a psychology in a BA, a Bachelor's of Art, in South Africa here. How would a student get into a South African university to be able to do a BA?
I think with the latest regulations in South Africa, a student would really need to look at first going and completing a higher certificate at NQF level 5, and from there applying for a degree program where they can then major in psychology and then go on to masters.
Yeah.
So they really need to first look at the first step and make sure when they're looking at a higher certificate that it's within the field of where they want to end up.
Okay, fair enough.
Shaun, so just to confirm, yes, there is a course within our health sciences that I just double checked, which is psychopathology and mental health. So the course serves as sort of an introduction to a range of mental health, human behavior, concepts of stigma. So yes, that is part of the health science.
Okay, we're getting to the end of this webinar, so I just want to try and get through two questions very quickly. The first one is, would I be able to study nursing? So I'm assuming that after I've got my health science degree, I would be able to move on to something such as nursing. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. We do, like all the courses that we have certainly prepare you for the to go into nursing. Absolutely, yes, you would find that health.
It's a stepping stone.
Absolutely.
It's a stepping stone towards nursing.
Yes.
And sorry to end the webinar off on this note, but the question is, when are exam fees payable? Because as you said, there's a small application fee that's payable up front. Do I need to pay for the full year in advance, or how does it work?
No, you pay only per assessment. So after the 9-week period, when your assessments happen, you pay your assessment fees, and then you pay that one fee. So if you're, again, undergrad is 120, for graduates 240, you pay that fee when you complete the course and you take the assessment, and that's it. So it's
very similar to the GED then. You study, and when you're ready to write do the assessment or do the exam, then you pay the assessment fee, and you can go and write the exam.
Done, and then you move on to your next. So you would then know, and we send all the reminders out to help you make sure that you're aware of when those payments are due. But again, it's and depending on how many courses you're taking, then you can plan as to what your costs will look like. But it's one flat fee, very easily paid, clearly paid, and then it's done.
Okay.
That's only, as I mentioned, those are the only fees you pay. Everything else, no charge.
Excellent. So another question is the University of the People accredited in South Africa? I think we've covered this before. It's not accredited in South Africa, it's accredited overseas. However, it's a degree you can study, you can work with a degree in South Africa because it is accredited by a recognized agency or accrediting body in America. I have no doubt that you can take your degree to SACWA and get a certificate of equivalence should you want it. I don't see why you would even need it unless you wanted to study further at a South African university to do a master's. One last question, Kate, and then we need to end off. Specifically for Harvard Business School, which courses are offered to University of the People at a discounted rate, as you mentioned in your presentation?
Yeah, so to clarify, it's Harvard Business School Online. So it's the online arm of Harvard Business School. So if you go to our website, we have our Harvard Business School Online partnerships, and take a look. It will give you a little bit more information there in terms of what exactly those courses are. But ultimately what would need to happen is that you would need to be studying with us and speak to your program advisor about your eligibility to transfer over to Harvard Business School Online. So there's only so much information that we've got information on the partnership on our website, but really that would take you to be a student with us, that then you could work with your program advisor around transferring over. But all the partnerships that we have, again, are listed. All the agreements are slightly different depending on which university it is and what arrangement we have with them. So I just encourage you just to go onto the website and take a look.
Okay, thank you. So Kate, thank you so much for all your time and your expertise that you've given us this afternoon. To Ben, thank you as well for joining us. I know it's late at night where you are at the moment. And to all our GED students, prospective students and graduates, keep studying, keep working hard, study further when you've graduated. Thank you for joining this webinar, and we'll see you at the next one soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stay safe.